Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Country Bumpkin Creates. My name is Lucy and you can find me on Instagram as country_bumps and you can find me on Ravelry as Country Bumps. Thank you to any returning viewers and welcome to any new viewers. I know there have been a couple of new subscribers in the last few days, so thank you for watching and welcome. I hope you enjoy my mad ramblings. As you can see, I'm in a different location today. I felt I was being a bit swallowed up by the sofa, and I was like, every week I was like reducing down in where you could see me on the camera. So I've moved to my desk, so I'm a bit out of like sorts now because I'm a bit like, oh, I don't know what to do sat here. But there you go. Today is Thursday. That was proper dumb, wasn't it? Thursday. Today is Thursday the 10th of May, 2018. Oh, is it 10th of May already? It was like 2 minutes ago it was Christmas. Whereas it's just crazy where this year is going. I am coming to you from a rather overcast Dartmoor. I live near Tavistock in Devon. I'm literally on the outskirts of Dartmoor. And it's a bit overcast today and a bit dull after the scorcher we had at the weekend, and yesterday we had torrential rain, and today it's warm but it's overcast today, which is my kind of day really. I don't cope well in the scorchio heat. Anyway, this is a podcast about knitting, sometimes crochet, but hasn't been crochet for a little while. And sewing. There's quite a bit of sewing again this week, which is quite nice. So let's get on with the show. First, if we go into finished objects and what I'm wearing, I will go into, I'm all handmade today, which is really exciting. I'll go into these two later in the sewing segment. But the first one is I finished my Shusui Shrug. The other good thing about sitting here is I can move back and I can stand up and give you full frontal. That was a bit rude. So you can see my Shusui Shrug is finished. Let's try and do a back view. So it does go down to like a point here. So I'm going to take it off because I'm a bit warm while I'm stood up. Gratuitous shot of the boobage. Apologies. Okay, let me scrunt back. So this is the Shusui Shrug by Suzanne Summer, and I love it. I'm going to get so much wear out of this. I finished it a couple of weeks ago, and we went to. Now I'm in like the whole screen now. What's going on? I can't. Bear with me. Amateur. So I finished it a couple of weeks ago, and we went to St Ives down in Cornwall for the day with the WI, and I wore it with my black jumpsuit that I showed you in the last podcast. So it is essentially, it starts out like a shawl, so it's like a shawl with sleeves really, is the best way to describe it. So it is a mixture of brioche, and then you have these garter sections. I apologise if the lighting's not very good. I've shut as many curtains as I can. We've got lots of windows in this part of the house. So you're doing brioche, and then you've got these garter sections. So it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows, and you add in new sections here and there, and then you've got just tiny little sleeves. And you can see where I changed colour for the sleeves, but never mind. Okay, so the main colour that I used, so this main colour here is, it's more of a minty green, and it's coming out on the screen. I'll see if I can fiddle around in editing, but it's a mint green with these pink and like bright green and black speckles, and that is Frankenglow colourway by Easy Knits. Sorry, completely screwed that up. And then as I got further down, you can see it changes ever so slightly, and that colourway is Chip by Die Candy. And then obviously this is 2-colour brioche, so on the inside all the way I actually have 2 skeins of the colour that I used for the inside, which was great. So this is just like a green grey. There was no colourway on the tag. It was a club yarn from Devon Sun Yarns a long time ago. So it was like a green, so it was like it fitted in it beautifully with the contrast, because in the pattern it asks for 4 skeins of all the same colour. Well, I didn't have 4 skeins of all the same colour, so, but it blends quite well, so I'm really happy with that. And then I did like a real, just to give it a pop, I put a neon pink on the bottom, all around the bottom. And I'm actually thinking, I did the bind off on the sleeves a bit tight, so I might unpick the binding and do an I-cord bind off in that pink as well on the edge of the sleeves, just to tie it in a bit more, really. And that'll give me a bit more stretch with it being I-cord rather than, I don't know why I didn't do I-cord to begin with, to be honest, because I know that when I bind off normally I do bind off tight, so I should have known, really. And should have gone with my instinct to do my only thing is I don't know about this where it changes colour, but once it's on you can't really notice anyway, but because I didn't think about it and I didn't leave enough of the first colour to I think that's inside out anyway. Yes, it is. That's better. I didn't leave enough of the first colour to do the sleeves. And so then I had to do this. You only literally knit like this bit here. You could have done it longer if you wanted to, but I didn't want to because I only got short arms anyway. So I should have left enough of the first main colour really to carry on with the sleeves, but didn't think about it. And like I say, once it's on, you don't really notice it anyway. So I'm really pleased with that, and it's so like warm and snuggly and comfy, and I did get a lot of compliments about it when we went to St Ives, so that was really nice. Okay, so that senior moment, forgot my other finished objects, which were just out of the shop. So there we go. Back. I'm back. Did you miss me? I'm back. Right. Okay, so the second finished object is a hat. Again, boob shop. Boobs. Just going to put it on my freaky polystyrene head. This is the Mads hat by Jodie Brown, who is Mrs. Brown's Bags, one of the grocery girls. And it's a focus. Move my head, it might focus. It's like a slip stitch honeycomb. This isn't the best yarn to show it up, but it did say you could use like a really highly variegated yarn, and then I was like, I'm not quite sure it's done justice to the pattern, but I might do it again in a different yarn, and then gift this one to somebody. Don't know yet. So the yarn is a fingering weight MCN that I held double, and it is the Street Art colourway by Amy from Stranded Dye Works. So, and then I put this pinky grey, pink pom-pom with like tinges of grey on the end on it. And these are from Jelly Fabrics on Etsy, and they come on a popper. So you sew one bit of the popper on. So when you need to wash your hat, you don't have to unpick the pom-pom. So you just pop it off, and if you want to change colours of pom-poms, then you just, yeah. So that's my second finished object, sorry, and that's Mad's hat by Jodie Brown. I think she's Jodie Brown Designs on, if you look for like search for people, I'm questioning myself. Anyway, it's linked. I've got a project page for it in my Ravelry projects, so find me on Ravelry, and if you want to look for the pattern if you can't find it. But it's Mads, M-A-D''S hat, because it's Madison, short for Madison. So that was my second finished object, and my third and final finished object is another hat. This was a test knit for the lovely Mina of Knitting Expat, Mina Phillip, who is the Knitting Expat. I'm going to hold it up because it's not sitting right on that head. Goodbye. So this is the I've woven in the ends, but I haven't trimmed them yet, so let me just shove them in there. So this is the Cumulus hat, and it's going to come, and there'll be a cowl in exactly the same design as well. So this is a test knit. I think it's going to be out around the end of May, because we had until the 20th to do the test knit, but this literally took me like 3 days. So if you've knit or seen the Changes shawl, I think these elements come from the Changes shawl as well. So these are what she calls the cluster pattern. So you can see you like wrap the yarn. It's not focusing very well, to apologise. You wrap the yarn around a number of stitches. I'm not going to give the secret sauce away. So the grey, this was like a really deep stash yarn. I was given this yarn as a gift, I'm sure I was. It's by Coolery Yarns. I don't think they're even dyeing anymore. I did look for them. And it's like, the colourway was the Burren, and it's like a really pale grey, like variegated grey. And it's an alpaca silk merino blend, I believe. I haven't got the tag here. I don't know what I've done on the tag. So once it was blocked, it was like you can see the drape on it. So and these, like, I've got like a violet and magenta, and the bright pink were some mini skeins from Mothie and the Squid, and then this light pink was a mini skein I received in a swap, so it didn't have a tag on it. I don't know who it is or anything like that, but it just fit perfectly into with my other colours. So I'm going to put it on because it might sit a bit better on my... Oh, look, now I look like the village idiot. I've got my hair up, so it's not going to... But you can see it's like really drapey. And I don't know whether I don't know to pom or to not to pom. This is the question. I might get I need to look for a grey faux fur pom pom, because I've only got white, pink or brown in my pom pom stash. But you can see it's got loads of height on it, so it is. And I did the large size, and it is sized from baby. I'm toddler right up through to adult large, all within the same pattern, which is a brilliant thing that Mina does. Sorry, I'm just going to wet my snitch. They've been grass cutting here. I live on a holiday park, for those of you who are new to the scene. So they've been grass cutting all week. So my hay fever is like crazy mental. So yeah, that is the Cumulus, as in clouds are cumulus. So there's a hat, and again, and like I said, there will be a matching cowl pattern as well, but I was only asked to test knit the hat. So, but really loved it, and it, like I say, it knit up so quickly because you were doing these clusters and then you had the colour changes, so it was like, oh, I'll just finish that and I'll get to the next colour, and then it's like, oh, I might as well carry on to the next colour now. So it did really worked up really quick. So that's it for finished objects at the moment. I think I haven't got many finished objects because my main focus was just to get that Shusui Shrug finished because I wanted to wear it. So yeah, that's why I haven't really finished much. So once I finished the Shusui Shrug and I did the hat, and then I was like, not quite sure what to do now. So I had a bit of a cast on party and cast on some socks and a shawl. So let's start with my mild magic, which I did show you on the last podcast. And I think on the last podcast I only had 3 sections done, so so it's grown quite significantly. I've done this was the first section, and it's quite a bit. If I sit back a bit, you can probably see it. And then I did this seed stitch section of the pink, and then I had done the brioche section. So after that I did this section here, I believe, which was just a garter section that you picked up along the edge. Yeah, you picked up along the edges. Then I did this purple, which is really not showing colours very well. This was actually, it's like a, obviously it's mould, so it was just a plain purple that had a couple of black specks in it. I think it was like, it may well have been something I dyed myself, or it may have been something that I picked up cheap somewhere, because it was like a it'd been misdyed or something. And then the colour I moulded it with was like a pink, blue and purple, like variegated. They were 2 random like 50-gram balls that I had in my stash, and I don't even know where I got them from or who dyed them or whatever, so sorry, can't help you with that. But this one is River Knits. Sorry, can't remember the colourway. It's not Starry Night, it's one of their others that I picked up at where did I go? Unravel. I picked it up at. So that's just the same colourway held double. And now and then, so you've got this, so I've added this section here, which was I've got them written down somewhere, but they will be on my project page eventually, so I do apologise. But I can tell you that this knit section, this like squishy garter rose garter stripes, is Winter Wonderland by Nora George, and I'm just using the same colour held double, because I didn't want to. The yarn's lovely. It's like a grey white with just speckles of pink and blue and purple. Yeah, so, oh, actually I've got the balls in here so I can show you the balls. So there, that's what the yarn looks like. So yeah, so I've got this section to do, and then I believe, looking at the pattern, I pick up along all of these. I'm doing the large size, so you don't have to do this section and this section. And then it's an epic I-cord border all the way around. But I think what I'm gonna do is get these 2 sections done and then put it on hiatus for a couple of weeks. Apologies again. Amateur rookie podcaster didn't switch her phone on to silent, so and then there's a thing called Stash Dash that is hosted by Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls, who are podcasters, American. They're based in the US and they've been podcasting for a long time. They're on like episode 400 and something, I think, or nearly 400 and something. So and every year, when Laura's a librarian in a school in America, so when she goes on to summer break, she does what they call Stash Dash. So the idea is to use up stash or finish any languishing whips and things like that. So I've preloaded a little bit for Stash Dash. So, and it's all for imaginary internet points. It's not, you know, nobody wins any prizes. Well, they do give the occasional prize or like a free pattern or something. So, you know, but it's just a good way of getting whips out the way, or, you know, using up stash. It started with Laura coming up with the idea of her aim, the first year they did it, it's been going for several years now, the first year they did it, her aim was to knit 50 skeins while she was on summer break. So it runs from May until August, I believe. And you just count up your total yardage or meterage, whichever way you work. And they do different, so they do like 1,000 meters, 3,000, 5,000, 7, 10, 15, and I think last year they did a 20, because a lot of people do spinning as well within. So it's any Ravelry craft, so knitting, crochet, weave, spin. So for the spinners, they were the ones who got right up there. But I managed 7,000. I did the 7,000 category last year. So I'm hoping I'll get at least 5 this year. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This is in my Gryffindor bag by the lovely Tracy at Thimble and Thread Make. And it's got Gryffindor ribbon handle on it. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is a mystery knit along, which is being done by Debbie Reese and Amy Meeks, who are the Periscoping sisters. Every year they do a knit along, a mystery knit. I say every year. I think this is the second year they've done it, for Mother's Day, American Mother's Day. We've already had UK Mother's Day, but I believe it's US Mother's Day fairly soon. And they had a wonderful trip this year to Edinburgh Yarn Festival with some money given to them by their parents. So this is a gift back to their mum. So it's called a mother's gift. And like I say, it's a mystery knit along. So if you are doing it and you haven't got very far yet and you don't want spoilers, then I suggest you go forward a few minutes. But so the 2 yarns I'm using is, oh no, apologies for that, another rookie mistake is making sure that your iPad has got charge on it. So it's just come up telling me it's got 10% left, so I've just plugged it in. So I'm hoping that there's enough residual there to do it while it's charging, but if it's not, I might have to come back a bit later and finish. So the 2 yarns I'm using, the first one is Nora George yarns, in the colourway We Can Build a Snowman, which I think came as part of the advent calendar last year. And the other one is Socks Yeah by Coop Knits, or Sock Yeah, I don't know, it's Socks. And it's in the colourway Ruby. So she does them in 50-gram skeins, so you get 212 meters for 50 grams. God, I'm doing that old person's, my arms aren't long enough even with my glasses on then. And this is the Nora George is 425 meters per 100 grams. So this is the We Can Build a Snowman skein. It's coming out a lot brighter pink than it is, and it's got pops of like yellow and grey and orange for snowman's nose. And then this is the ruby colour. Again, it's not coming out quite right. So those are the 2 colours that I'm using, and I've got 2 50-gram skeins. There's the one I'm using, just to prove. Okay, so this is where we are so far. So we've only had the first clue. The next clue will be out tomorrow. So started off with just a little garter increase section, and then it went into a stockinette section in the next colour, and then we've got these descending colour of descending stripes, width of stripes. And I can't remember which colour you had to cut. Yeah, so the next section will carry on because you have to keep this colour attached. So the next section, when the pattern comes tomorrow, and you do I've got a marker in the middle because there's a central double decrease. So it creates like this ridge line up the middle. So that's why I've just got the marker there, so I know how far to go before I do my centre double decrease. I don't move it on every row, it's just so I roughly know where I am, and then like once it grows that much I'll move it up again, because it's a pain having to remove it every single time you come back through. Okay, so that's where we are with that one. And again, I think there are going to be 4 clues, so it'll be a 4-week thing. So by the time it's finished, Stash Dash will have started, so it will count with Stash Dash. And they said in the like pre-pattern notes, choose a lightly speckled yarn and a solid or tonal that matches. So I think I've not done too badly there. And this Coop Knits was what I picked up when I went to unravel, because I didn't have a lot of like solid or tonal. I had a lot of single skein speckled yarns, mostly pink or mint green, because that's the colour I tend to gravitate to. So I did go, one of my aims at unravel was to get some tonals and solids to match what I've already got within my stash. So it's good to be using up some of those and some single skeins. The next I'll do. I don't think I've got very far with my sides and stripes since you saw it last. This is my canvas cube bag by Thimble and Thread. I love her bags. So this is Sides and Stripes by Aida Maki. It's being knit in 2 colours of stranded dye wax. So this is her Mettlesome colourway, and this is Shiner, and it's just on her Oasis base, which is her fingering weight superwash merino, 425 metres per 100 grams. So I really don't think it's grown at all, if anything, since. So this is Sides and Stripes, so it's does what it says on the tin really. So you do the yoke in the main colour, and then you start striping once you split for the sleeves, and then the sides element comes in. Oh no, I haven't. I thought I'd drop stitches then. Oh, sorry, it's all tangled where it's, because I'm striping, I'm not alternating skeins, and the 3, so you need 3 skeins of your main colour. So the 3 skeins of Shiner that I've got are there's not much variation in them at all, so I'm not bothering to alternate skeins, not when I'm doing stripes. So, and then so the sides element comes in under the arm. There's a panel where you do reverse stockinette, so you've got like a garter panel. So let me hold it up. So you've got like this garter, so you can see here stockinette, and then it goes into garter under the arms, and then it goes back into stockinette on around the front and the back. So you'll have, coming down under here, you'll have a section of garter, which will be quite nice, something different. It's quite there's a lot of positive ease in it, but the pattern says that I only need 1 skein of the, so it's quite a good way of using up those odd skeins. So you only need 1 skein of your striping colour. Yeah, and you can probably work it out anyway, but you do 2 stripes of the contrast, 3 of the main, 2 of the contrast, 3 of the main. So I'm just literally working down the body now for another, I think it's about 14 inches, but I haven't picked it up for weeks. I must get back onto it, because again, that'll be a good stash dash meterage finish, and then I can start my next sweater. And I can't make up my mind yet whether it's going to be East or West by Ho Heat or the one that I showed last week. So East or West, page 82. So that's East or West. And I really like that. But I also like the new one that she's got in the new interpretations, which I did show you last week. Where are you? Talk amongst yourselves. Do apologise. There. Separate Ways. Which is her classic sort of boxy style. But you've got this bit that goes one way. So I really like that. But I can't decide on colours for that one yet. I've got about 5 sweater quantities of yarn for different various ones that I want to do. So we'll see. We'll see. So then the next 3 projects are all socks. I had a bit of a mad sort of cast on of socks the other day. These are my handbag and going to visit Dad in his nursing home socks. So they've grown quite a bit. This is the Hogwarts colourway by Fab Funky Fibres, who has just reappeared on Instagram. She's rebranded her tags and everything, and I think she's having a shop update soon. So this is Fab Funky Fibres. She's got an Etsy shop, but the easiest way to find her is just to Google Fab Funky Fibres, because the Etsy search engine is horrendous. So this is the Hogwarts colourway. So as you can see, it's all the Harry Potter house colours. So it comes as 250-gram skeins. So I am doing 1 long tube. So I haven't got much left of this actually, of this one to knit. I've only got, oh, that's it. So I'm gonna, once this Ravenclaw colour is, no, not Ravenclaw. Yeah, it is Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw colour is finished, which is all but changes there. So it'll go back to Hufflepuff then. So I'm going to do the toe, start the toe in the Hufflepuff colour. Because I am literally, I've got enough yarn just to do the toe, I think. And then I'll cut them in half, pick up stitches, cut it in half, and do afterthought toe and cuff on one or the other. And then it comes with a brown mini skein, so I'll cut in and do a heel in the brown, which is the sorting hat colour. So I do have another one, so I might make some shorty socks for me and my sister. So I'll probably get shorties out of two pairs of shorties out of a 50-gram if I use a contrast heel, toe and cuff. Right, so that's those. Again, I'm going to see Dad tomorrow and Sunday morning, so hopefully they'll be finished by Sunday. And this is in my Harry Potter house bag, again by Thimble and Thread Make, when she used to do her Harry Potter stuff. Okay, so this is in my Honk If You Knit Last Night bag by the Yarn Tart, available from Suffolk Socks. And these are the, I joined for my birthday. It was my birthday last month, so Hubster paid for the Rachel Coopy Coop Knits Neon and Neutrals Club for me. So you get 5 packages throughout the year. One will have her new neon range. So you get one skein of neon and 2 neutrals. But you also get a sock pattern. So that was this month's sock pattern. So, and the 3 skeins of yarn we got were Benny Toit. I think I've pronounced that completely wrong. Get my hair off it. So it's like a navy. Oh, it's really bad lighting. I do apologise. It's like a navy blue, but it's got like a heathering to it, so it's really pretty. So that's, and the other neutral, which is on a yarn barf, which is really useful, is a grey, which is Danburite. Really butchering these names, I do apologise. Danburite. And then the neon, it's like an orange. It's really not coming out very well at all. It's a real like neon orange, like highlighter orange, and that is Argon. And I haven't got very far. I've just literally started the cuff, but it's 1 by 1 twisted ribs, so it's taking a little while. So that's as far as I've got with that. I'm using the Aida. In the US they're called Flexi Flips. Here they're called Crazy Trio in the UK. And I really like them. I do like them. I find them very easy to use. I always knit my socks on DPNs. Always. And then I just started Magic Loop probably about 6 months ago. Do apologise. Apologies for that. Why does my phone never rings, and then as soon as I start podcasting, everyone in the world wants to speak to me? Anyway, so we were talking about these Crazy Trio, or Flexi Flips as they're called in the US. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but one end, I've opened a few more curtains and I don't know whether the lighting's any better or not. One end is quite sharp, the other end is blunt. So it's clever how they've put the different tips on. So yeah, that's as far as I've got with the colour any better now. Right. I have to play about with the lighting situation next time. So that's the Ottoline socks. I'm not sure if the pattern's available outside of the club at the moment. Whether it might be later. I don't think it actually said. But it's my first colourwork sock, so I'm going to be quite interested to see how well they come out. I'm a bit of a colourwork novice, so yeah, hopefully they'll be a bit further along next time you see them. I love this bag. I adore this bag. I don't adore that it attracts all the cat hair and fluff in creation, but so this is from the Knitting Goddess, and I managed to get it when we went to Unravel. So in this bag I am knitting the 2 colour socks by Joji Locatelli. I'm trying to find the picture. Apologies. So that's the picture. So you start off with some striping, and then there's like a lacy bit, and then heel flap and gusset, and then there's like a textured bit here, and then obviously the toe. So I'm gonna follow the lead of Tracy from the Grocery Girls, and she knit these. I think she did the test knit. So I'm going to do opposites, so they'll be fraternal. So when I do the next sock, the cuff will be in this light pink and this pinky colour, pinky mauve, and then the lace will be in the dark. So they'll be opposite, so fraternal. So this pink again is a random, it's like a pinky mauve It's a random 50-gram ball that I found in my stash, and this purple is from Eden Cottage Yarns, and it's their BFL sock in the damson colourway. It's really not focusing very well. So it's 100% BFL, 400 meters per 100 grams. And again, I'm doing these on the Crazy Trios. So I've just done, you're supposed to do 3 repeats of the lace, but I don't know why my brain, I was like trying to do lace knitting on 28 stitches on each side, and you'd have thought I was doing 600 stitches, the amount that I messed it up. So I've never done so much tinking back in my life for just, and it's the most simple lace, but my brain just can't cope with it. I don't know what it is. So I thought it's going to end up being quite, so there would have been another 12 rows, and that would have been quite long. So these are going to be for my sister Sarah for our box of socks for Christmas. So, but for a simple lace pattern, could I manage it? No. So that's another reason why I only did 2 repeats as well, because I was like, I'm not sure my brain can cope with a 3rd repeat. So I'm hoping, I'm really enjoying these actually. So they will hopefully be a finished object by the next time I record. So it's a really nice pattern because there's enough to keep you interested, because you're changing colours or you're doing a different pattern, you know, different patterning or whatever. So it's a really, really nice pattern. Excuse me a glitch. That's better. So that concludes our knitting element. So that's all the projects I'm working on at the moment. I don't think there's anything. Yes, there is. I lied. What did I do with it? I quite like the. I'm really on a hat knitting kick at the moment, and I like the die pyramid hat. There we go. That was in the winter issue of Pom Pom Quarterly, so it was in the winter 17. So it's a colourwork hat, and I've bought like a dark grey, and I've got a bright pinky pinata colourway from Amy of Stranded Dye Works, and they're both, it's done in a DK weight. So again, I want to get better at colourwork, so I thought this would be, because it's quite a large circumference, rather than doing a mitten or something like that that's quite small. I thought I might give this a try, so I may cast that on over the weekend. I'm really into the hats at the moment. For somebody who looks like a village idiot in a hat, I seem to be knitting quite a lot of them. So okay, on to sewing. So as you can see, we are wearing handmade wardrobe today, so I'm just going to stand up here. So these are the Roberts collection. I'm all scrunched up. Bear with me. Roberts collection dungarees. So you got like a little placket here that you put. So if I turn around, you can see the back. And they're very similar to the bottom is exactly the same as the Lucy jumpsuit that I showed on the last. So it's the Roberts collection by Marilla Walker. Let me grab the book in here, or did I put it in? That's really useful. Anyway, so it's by Marilla Walker. So and there's comes as these dungarees, the jumpsuit that I showed on the last episode. There's a dungaree dress that you can do, and a top, and I did show the top on my last episode that I'd made as well. And then, so then, because I loved the, so I then ordered the, I wanted some different tops. The Maya pattern, again by Marilla. And you can get these patterns on Etsy. She does them as a PDF download, or very occasionally she'll do them as printed patterns. So that's when I grab them when I see. So this is the Maya dress top collection. So the top that I'm wearing in the flamingos is this top, but I didn't do the pocket. So, and I did make exactly the same top out of this fabric. So this is like a magnolia fabric. I think they're magnolias anyway. And we've got a great shop, or a chain of shops in Devon and Cornwall called Trago Mills, and I believe they've just opened one in Wales as well. And their haberdashery section, or their material section, is fab. This is 100% cotton, and I think it's Rose and Hubble, and I paid £4.5 a metre. And this, the material I made the dungarees out of and the jumpsuit is a cotton linen mix. I think it's 50-50 cotton linen. And I paid £3.96 a metre for that. So it's like such a bargain. And these dungarees I'm going to make out of, I bought some like stretch denim as well down there, and I paid £5.46 a metre for that. So if you're ever in Devon and Cornwall, then I suggest the Liscard one which is just inside Cornwall, is better. It's got a better material selection than Newton Abbot in Devon, but they're all as good as each other. So it's just a basic square top, and you just do a neck facing and the two arm facings, and then so you sew the facings on and then turn them under, and then do like a top stitch around. The idea is it's supposed to be like a drapey sort of top. So yeah, so my plan this afternoon, because it's, well, it is this afternoon now, but today is to make the dress version. I've been waiting, I had to order some more, because when it comes it's on like quite thick paper, so, and I don't like cutting the paper patterns anyway, just in case the sizing's a bit out. So I trace it on Swedish tracing paper and then cut it out from there. So I'm going to make this dress in this material. I think it'll be quite nice. So it's just, well, I say dress, it's more like a long tunic. I don't know whether to do the belt or not. I can always do that after. Anyway, so, but I won't do the pockets on it. So it'll just be a straight tunic dress. And I'm not sure I'm going to do, I might just go and buy some bias binding and do bias binding around the arms and the neck, because the facings I found a bit tricky, whereas bias binding doesn't take too long to sew. So that's plan of action for this afternoon. But these tops, literally 2 hours done, start to finish, so can't really go wrong with that. So that's my sewing plan for this weekend. I'm on holiday, or I'm on holiday. I've booked a week off work in a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping to get the dungarees, the denim dungarees made. Never tried denim before. I wanted to share a couple of books that one I received as a gift for my birthday, and one I bought on the back of receiving. So this book, this is what I received as a birthday gift, and it's really sort of whet my appetite. It's like, ooh, fancy that. I'm fancying a hat pattern, because I thought it was fairly easy to write. So I've had a quick sort of flick through the book, and it's very informative. It's a very good, really good book. So I'm hoping, so it goes into how to do charts, how to write, you know, how to write properly, how to write a pattern properly and things like that. Yeah. So, and how to work out like different sizing and things like that. So I thought a hat would be fairly easy to work out sizing. And then, so on the back of that, I then thought I need a stitch dictionary. So I bought this one. So it's 750 knitting stitches, and it is by, it doesn't say who it's by. The Ultimate Stitch Bible. So I assume it's various people that it's done by. But I got it on Amazon and it wasn't very expensive. So it goes through, so you've got various stitch patterns. So it's like so you've got a stitch diagram, like a key to stitch diagrams, and then abbreviations for all the so it starts off with just like a knit and purl section, and then it goes into cables, and then it's lace and eyelets, and then it's got colour work. So it gives you, let's just pick it. So you get a diagram of what it should look like, and then you get the stitch pattern underneath. So that's pretty cool. So watch this space. It has really sort of, I've been like, oh, it can't be that difficult, surely. But it probably is. I'm probably lulling myself into a false sense of security. So there we go. That's about it really. I'm planning on going to 2 events. One is this weekend on Saturday. Amy from Stranded Dye Works is doing a trunk show at Alternate Universe near Bristol. It's about an hour and 45-minute drive, but I'm meeting up with a friend. I want to go there. Hi, Sarah. Unfortunately, the other 2 of our gang can't make it, so pretty sad. So, but it'd be nice to catch up with Sarah. I haven't seen her for a couple of months. Sorry, itchy eyeball. Itchy eyeball, itchy eyeball. Oh, that's better. Sorry about that. So I'll be there on Saturday. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be at the shop. Probably an hour or so. So aiming to get there sort of 11:30, 12ish. And then we're going to head off and have some lunch somewhere. And then the next event we are planning, the 4 of us are planning to go to, is Yarningham in Birmingham, and that is the 14th and 15th of July. We haven't really set our plans yet. I think we may only be going for the Saturday. I'm not quite sure yet. Don't know, because we haven't even booked accommodation or anything yet, so we really need to get a shift on with that. And that's about it, really. So sorry it's been a bit truncated with interruptions today. I do apologise. I will love you and leave you, and happy knitting, happy crafting, happy sewing, happy crocheting, happy yarning, and hopefully I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Bye.